Meet the partners. So for the resource assistants, as we told you, you all are being hosted by various partners who we have participating agreements with. And so today you're going to learn more about those other partner organizations, who they are, what their missions are, and learn who their staff is. And this just kind of allows you to kind of have more of a background knowledge of the whole resource assistant program instead of just knowing your partners. So pay attention today, learn something about these other partners, because there might be other opportunities for you to partner with them in the future or do some work with them. So, all right, we can go ahead and go to the next slide, Vanessa. All right, NYC, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Liv Kelly, and I'm the Internship Program Officer at Northwest Youth Corps. Joining me on this call is Kate Sanders, our Internship Program Coordinator, and Sarah Worthington, our Internship Program Director. But I'll be introducing Northwest Youth Corps today. Northwest Youth Corps was created in 1984, and we're modeled after the Civilian Conservation Corps. We offer a variety of challenging educational and job training experiences that allow the youth and young adults in our program to develop the skills they need to have successful careers in the future. We do have an Idaho Conservation Corps, which is a program of Northwest Youth Corps. And through these, we serve on average 1,000 youth and young adults ages 19 through 26 in our residential and non-residential crew programming. We're a partner of AmeriCorps and have many opportunities that are AmeriCorps positions. We recently created a community wildlife protection program that's serving communities in Oregon to prepare for the upcoming wildfire season. And in addition, Northwest Youth Corps does have a conservation internship program that we're going to continue discussing on the next slide. Slide, please. So our conservation internship program was established in 2016 to provide young people with higher level job training experiences with federal and state land and water resource management agencies. Since then, we've served between 100 and 125 individuals each year through the Department of Interior, Department of Agriculture, and Department of Defense. Our internships include a large variety of scopes, from interpretation and natural history to special uses and natural resources. But since 2016, we've placed around 81 resource assistants across regions 6 and 4, and many of our placements have converted to permanent positions. Since 2021 alone, we've issued 18 direct hire authorities and 19 public lands corps certificates, and we're expecting to issue many more again this year. Slide, please. And this slide here is our contact information. Please feel free to reach out by phone or email if you have any questions. Any questions at this time? No? Well, thank you so much for letting me present today, and I hope everybody has a really great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, next up, we have Mobilize Green.
Great. Thank you so much. My name is Labe Kaminsky, and I am the recruiter for Mobilize Green. Our mission is here. I don't want to read it word for word, but we're basically empowering future leaders to really lead us in the conservation field and conservation movement. We are trying to reflect the demographic mix of all people and making sure that they have opportunities to move forward in their careers. So we have multiple different programs, and we're really looking to address the diversity leadership gap in green and STEM related fields. If you can go to the next slide, please. So we basically have 5 programs that I'm going to talk just a little bit about to give you an idea, because we like to partner with other programs, of course, with the Resource Assistant Program, working with the Forest Service, which I know all of you are RAP interns, so you're already familiar with that. But we have about 30 to 40 a year throughout the year that we place. But in addition to the RAP interns, we also have project-based internships that can last from 8 to 12 weeks. So those are shorter, so mostly in the summer internships, but we do have them all year round in all the different fields that you would see with the RAP interns and with the Forest Service. Our growing program right now is our virtual intern program. where we are hoping to have up to 2,000 interns over the next 3 years. So that's a lot. That's a big number. I saw some people gasp, and it's pretty gaspy. But some of those internships are only 4 weeks, and some can be up to a year. So and a year one could be considered multiple internships. But we really are reaching out with not only agencies such as the Forest Service and Park Service, but also with corporations and with nonprofits, and actually could place with some of our partner organizations as well, these internships, but they are all virtual, which means, all Zoom or sitting at home, but really giving people some entry-level sort of experience, because I know, like, when I recruit for the RAP intern, sometimes we just don't have the people with the right experience. But these virtual internships can actually help build their experience so they can qualify for other internships or even other full-time jobs. And so we use that as sort of our continuum of services for young people. Our virtual interns can be college-aged graduates, recent graduates, masters, PhD. And they range anywhere from people who are doing social media for these groups to people who are working on their transportation fleets, looking at ways to become more energy efficient and more, able to help people in sustainability. One of our newest virtual intern programs actually started yesterday, and it's our environmental justice climate equity interns. And we actually have 32 people right now who just started working on looking at climate issues and justice equity issues in 10 cities across the country. And they're going to be assigned a city, and they're going to be looking at ways to sort of look at local climate issues and environmental justice issues at the same time, and coming up with solutions for those cities. This is in partnership with the NBA Foundation. So that makes it like, ooh, working with NBA teams in 10 different cities, which is also very exciting that they are sponsoring. They are one of the partners in this program. We also have our Youth Conservation Corps, which is for high school students. And we currently have one in Minnesota, Wyoming, and 2 in Maryland that we're running this summer, 3 to 6 week conservation crews for high school students, giving them those basic outdoor skills. In addition, we also run events and career fairs throughout the year. At least pre-COVID, we had a career fair once a year where we invite 40 potential employers, and then we would invite all of our Mobilize Green interns to interact with them looking at future job opportunities. If we could go to the next slide, please. So here are just some of the benefits of Mobilize Green. So we have monthly training webinars for all of our Mobilize Green current and alumni in the program, along with networking and professional development opportunities where we will have speakers come 4 times a year to talk about where they are in their careers. And then again, I talked about our career fair, and we also offer one-on-one support. If anyone's interested in learning more, you could check out our website or our contact, which is rap@mobilizegreen.org. And our website, of course, is mobilizegreen.org. It's good to see some of the names of the people who I've actually spoken with through the recruiting process. So I'm excited to see you. I would shout out to everyone, but that wouldn't be fair. So just a big old shout out. And does anyone have any questions? Well, you can always contact Mobilize Green at rap@mobilizegreen.org, or again, go to our website. And thank you very much for the opportunity today to talk to everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lee.
Thank you.
All right, up next we have Green Youth Foundation.
Awesome. Thank you, Sylvia. And thank you everyone for being here today. It's a pleasure and an honor to be back amongst so many great individuals again, linked in trying to help our young people see career advancement with the Forest Service. So we're grateful for the partnership and grateful for all of you today. My name is Lauren Hamilton. And I apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather today, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm sparing you guys some of the snot that's kind of hanging out my nose, but if you could just work with me with my voice, I'd appreciate it. Stay hydrated. I got you, Jenna. Um, I am interim CEO at Green and Youth Foundation, and we have an awesome organization and program that has been partnered with the U.S. Forest Service for many, many years, specifically with the RAP program, but with other opportunities. Green and Youth is a nonprofit that's based here in Atlanta, Georgia, but we have reach in over 38 states and 2 U.S. territories, and we've been working in this regard since 2006, actually. And so we're in our teenage years of our organization and our program, and have had a great time really seeing the advancement of young people in conservation careers. Next slide, please. Our mission is to work not only with individuals who are interested in that career pathway for conservation, but also stewardship. We think it's very important in order for individuals to know and see their possibilities of employment, as well as to give back to our conservation and our public lands and green spaces, because we're all in this fight and we're all in this journey together for climate change and sustainability. And so the best way to do that is to make sure that there are enough life-changing experiences with our young people as they interact with the outdoors and the environment, and to give them those opportunities not only to volunteer and do activities, but also to work where applicable. Next slide, please. So GYF has a couple pillars that we work under in order to execute our mission. The Youth Conservation Corps is the umbrella that the RAP program falls under. It's our program that is working towards transformative experiences for those youth and individuals who are seeking careers in conservation through higher academia. So we have the resource assistance program that we do. We also have several individual placements. We also work with Job Corps and other programs of that nature. But we use the umbrella for Youth Conservation Corps to talk about these viable pathways to economic self-sufficiency. We have several partners that we do this work with, including the Forest Service, National Park Service, and Fish and Wildlife Service, as well as NOAA. And then recently we've done some work with the Bureau of Reclamation, as well as Bureau of Land Management. So we've got quite a breadth of agencies that are engaged in work with us. And you're not limited to just the work that you're doing with the U.S. Forest Service, but with many other partners who are joined together in the mission and in the values of preservation for our natural resources. Next slide, please. So here's just a listing of some of those programs, and I mentioned them previously. So in our seeking to work with individuals from diverse backgrounds, and that's diversity from several levels, whether it's your demographics and nationality, to gender identity, to seen and unseen disabilities, we're helping to plug you into these opportunities to work in the conservation field. Our Forever Green program is actually our K through 12 environmental education, and that's where Green Youth got its start. It started off as wanting to make sure that our youth had enough engagement from a culturally sensitive standpoint about the environment. And so that was teaching and applications about everything from recycling and water quality to water preservation to energy efficiency for our young adults in the K through 12 realm. And then our Urban Youth Corps is our parallel program to the Youth Conservation Corps, where we seek to help individuals who are wanting to pursue a career in conservation from a non-traditional pathway. Perhaps they are not seeking higher academia in order to pursue that, so they want a traditional trade or certification in some type of green infrastructure, whether it's solar panel installation or trail clearing or tree care and arborist services. That's what our Urban Youth Corps does. We parallel it very much with the AmeriCorps program, and so we are able to implement that for individuals who are seeking those pathways into conservation careers from a non-traditional pathway. And then again, you see us listing those programs under our Youth Conservation Corps that exist. We have been able to implement several cohorts for the RAP program and seen many transitions, not only into hiring authorities that they can use for permanent employment, and also many of those individuals who come back year over year to help mentor and assist with our resource assistance program because of the great experience that they've had. Next slide, please. So this is a listing of our GYF team. Oops, sorry. Yep, this is a listing of our GYF team who work specifically on this program. You've got Shatiba Bradley, who I believe is also on this call, Dana Reed, Christine Luis Jaquez, and Danny Miguel. You also have a new program manager that is also tied to this program. Her name is Latasha Bell. I believe many of you have been in correspondence with her. She's new to the team, but not new to the dedication and the desire to want to work with each and every one of you to ensure that you have a really great experience with Resource Assistance Program. And I will pause there and ask if anyone has any questions. If not, please know that the door and the phone lines are wide open. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions or seek our assistance for anything that you need. We're really, really excited to have you as a part of this program. We see your talent and your potential, and we want to see you succeed. So thank you so much for your time today.
It looks like we have a question from Carly.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Carly.
Yeah, you didn't explicitly mention this, but just listing all the partners made me think of it. I'm under the impression that the hiring authority that we get is only valid for the agency that we work directly with. Is that so?
Yes, at this point, it's not transferable. In some instances, the other agencies will honor yours, but for the Forest Service, they won't honor a certificate or a hiring authority that you have received under Park Service or another agency. Does that make sense, Carly?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up.
Gregory?
Yeah, just going off on Carly's question. So does that mean since the Forest Service goes with the USDA, does it go with any USDA like APHIS?
No, it's agency specific, and we'll
Okay.
talk more about certificates and hiring authorities in another session.
All right.
It's not partner specific, it's in the agency, so we'll talk more about that.
Excellent.
All right.
Thanks,
Any
Sylvia.
other
Thanks
questions
to
specifically
all
for
of you.
GYF? We have one more question.
Sure, go ahead, Rohan. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Yay.
So you mentioned some of the other programs you had with GYF and how some people choose to go through this non-traditional pathway with that. And you mentioned installing solar panels, and that's something I was interested in a while back and still kind of am interested in doing. And so with those non-traditional pathways, is that something that people who choose to do that is done specifically with the agency, or do they eventually go on to, for example, do something with that non-traditional pathway in like communities? Like can they take those skill sets and apply them and move and apply them to whatever community they want to?
Absolutely. That's a wonderful question, Rohan. So we execute that program not in conjunction with any particular agency. We do it with partners who are willing to provide time and services to give tutelage and training for that. So we might work with a local vendor who does tree care services, or a local partner who does energy efficiency audits and solar panel installation. And so it's not specifically through an agency, but whoever that partner is that is helping to provide the training will also certify the results or the skill set that has been gained by the individual, so that they can use that as a part of their resume building or as a part of their overall career and professional pathway towards working in the conservation field. So it's not specifically through an agency. I think we have worked with a few agencies on this, but not specifically through an agency to do those non-traditional pathways.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Great questions, guys. You guys are the sharp bunch.
All right, well, thank you so much, Lauren. We hope you feel better.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Next up, we have GBI.
Morning, everybody. Thank you for taking time out to learn more about our organization. My name is Jerry Keir. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Great Basin Institute. And I have Richard Furley here with us as well, who's our grants and contracts manager, learning more about the RAP program as well. Chris Warner typically provides these orientations, but I'm standing in for him today, and we'll talk a little bit about our origins and mission and scope. Next slide. GBI was founded by myself and another PhD candidate at the University of Nevada, Reno in 1998. We began as a field studies program that united the disciplines in summer field studies for undergraduate and graduate students. So there on the right, you see Sanjay Pyari, now faculty up at the University of Alaska. He was an ecologist, and that group photo is myself and Sanjay teaching that inaugural class up in Little Valley at Lake Tahoe. We're based out of Reno, and we've kind of grown from that field studies footprint to encompass a wide range of support services to agencies. Next slide. Our mission evolved from engaging students to supporting agencies in a variety of science-based initiatives. Our mission evolved over time to increase ecological literacy as a university program and advance community engagement through agency partnerships, through cooperative agreements and grants. Next slide. Today we do a variety of activities, providing environmental services for federal, state, county, and in some cases private lands. Our priority is to mentor and train the next generation of resource professionals and managers. And we do that by harnessing the energy and idealism of students, educators, researchers, professionals, and volunteers with the aim to protect and restore our natural, cultural, and recreational resources. Beyond those activities, we have a priority to look at the preservation of species and habitat at a landscape scale and support a variety of science-based monitoring and stewardship activities. Next slide. We have a variety of programs that engage schools, youth, and professionals. In 1999, we founded the Nevada Conservation Corps. It's a crew-based program that provides services in forestry, trails, ecological restoration, habitat improvement. For more advanced participants, we have our Research Associate Program, founded in 2001, whereby we have teams and placements within the federal, state, and NGO partnerships. We are supported by AmeriCorps. We have an educational award only program, and then we are directly funded for the state of Nevada. Next slide. So the types of work that we do are regional in scope. We do have most of our folks working west of the Rockies. We provide ecological monitoring and habitat assessments at a landscape scale with the Bureau of Land Management. It's a very large program. We have a very robust planning shop that provides NEPA planning support services, from specialist reports to public scoping and decision memo finalization. We work specifically with threatened and endangered species across the West, with particular emphasis in the Sierra Nevada and Great Basin ecoregion. And we do that through a variety of partnerships to promote biological and cultural resource survey data capture. We also have a very strong cultural resources program whereby we provide Section 106 survey implementation across the West. We also have a master national agreement with the National Park Service for our archival and museum support. And we also support our outreach program by operating 3 facilities on U.S. Forest Service, Galena Creek Visitor Center, Taylor Creek Visitor Center, and the Tlac Historic Site, all in the Tahoe area. We also have a very large partnership with the Bureau of Reclamation and Engineering, and we support forest-wide and interior-wide travel management and planning to ensure safe visitor usage across the resources. And lastly, we have a fairly large stewardship program whereby we work with states and federal agencies to plan landscape scale forest health initiatives. And presently we have a master regional stewardship agreement with Region 5, and we're implementing stewardship on 11 national forests, particularly in the Sierra Nevadas. Next slide. So our main partners are the usual suspects in public land management. Interior is one of our largest partners, the Park Service being the dominant of the agencies. We do a fair amount of work with wildlife refuges, particularly species-specific preservation and monitoring. Our relationship with the Forest Service is through Region 4 and Region 5. The Park Service has a national scope, but predominantly we're working throughout the Western states for the Park Service. Reclamation is largely sited in Denver at what's called the National Operating Center in Interior. And then our state relationships are principally focused in California and Nevada. In addition to those agencies, we do a fair amount of NGO support. Particularly, we develop planning and implementation with groups like Trout Unlimited, American Rivers, Mule Deer Foundation, Cal Deer, national and regional NGOs, and smaller local entities as well. Next slide. And there I am on the right, Executive Director Chris, our Development Director, and Lynn is our Program Director. Please check us out on our website. We'll be available through your tenure in the RAP program, and we're really happy to have you on board at GBI. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jerry. Any questions for Jerry? All right. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay, next up.
Looks like there's a question from Hannah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see a hand or anything. Did she drop the question in the chat or does she have a hand up?
I just did a clap.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay,
All right, Manners, take it away, Dwayne.
All right, good morning, or well, afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are here in the country. Thank you, Sylvia and the RAP team for having us. This is what, our 3rd year? I think it's our 3rd year, maybe our 2nd of being a part of the RAP program. I am fairly new in managing this program. Ashanti Smith, who is not with us today, oversees some of the program, but everything is being turned over to me. So Manners is an organization, you can go to the next slide. Manners is an organization comprised of 5 team members, full-time staff. Ashanti's up the first one, Ebony Weber is the second, Dwayne Matthews is the third. Ian Smith is our junior manners coordinator, and Tina Wu is our newest member. She manages our university relations for our chapters. I guess I should have mentioned that Ashanti is the business manager and Ebony is the COO of Manners. Next slide. So a little bit about Manners. Manners started back in 1989 on the campuses of Michigan State and Pennsylvania State University. And they came together basically to form an organization for minority students because they saw the need for more minorities to be recognized in this space, the science spaces. So you see our mission there. I like to say that the mission of Manners is we're like so many of the other organizations, we're a pipeline for students like yourselves, for young people to get into the science career fields and get them in front of recruiters, hiring managers, executives to get them jobs, internships, and scholarships to go to college. You see our mission and vision. I won't recite that. Next slide, please. So, like I stated before, Manners was created way back when, and now we are in, we have over 2,000 active members. 85% are students, 15% are professionals. We have an active database of 8,000 members, and that's some who are active and inactive, and some who are coming back to be active. We also have a junior manners program, which starts in middle and high school, and that's to capture the great minds of the students earlier to get them interested in these career fields in the science space. We have 75, now this has grown, I believe, to 78 chapters nationwide. And we just signed on a few just yesterday. And so we are continuously growing pretty much by the minute, if you will. We are in 39 states and Puerto Rico, and we serve 1890 institutions, HBCUs, Hispanic serving institutions, and we're also getting into the tribal college space. And we have more than 75 STEM related disciplines represented throughout our membership. Next slide. This here shows you the Manners journey. Like I stated before, we have a junior Manners component, which then feeds into our collegiate component, which then feeds into, well, undergraduate and graduate collegiate components, and then our professional component, in which we work with companies like USDA. One of our favorite agencies in the USDA is the Forest Service, of course, because we are very close to them as we sit in their building. We work with companies like John Deere, Land O'Lakes, Cargill, Syngenta, and that's just to name a few, to gain access to, to gain access to their funds as they gain access to our members to give them, like I said, jobs, internships, and scholarships. Next slide, please. Here's the member benefits. As a member, we like to say, when you become a member in Manners, you're a member for life. We even say that if you don't even pay your dues, but we love people to pay their dues. But this organization is a very close-knit family organization. And we call each other family because we're here to help each other. And so you can see that we provide leadership and career development for our members. That's both high school, middle high school, collegiate, and professional members. Sustainable career connections and academia networks, engaging interaction and mentorship with life science students and professionals. And then you could read the rest there. I don't want to bore you, but this organization is awesome as we, track our students from from middle school to on up to their professional careers. Next slide. I was like, that is not ours. But so I'm not sure where the other slides are, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We just revamped our website. We are on social media, all social media. And our website is www.manrrs.org. So look us up. We have met with our interns, and I think we have some phenomenal young people working for us, working through us for the Forest Service for this summer. So thank you all. Thank you, Sylvia, and your team. You all are awesome. And I miss you guys.
Thank you so much. Dwayne, I know this answer, but I'll let you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, I saw that in the chat. It stands for Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences. We say manners all the time, and so the full name doesn't really click all the time. So it's Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences.
Yes. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Dwayne.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have Catherine with Environment for the Americas.
Thank you, Sylvia. I didn't get the memo about the plant and favorite plant, and so I just want to share mine. I'm in love with the house plant Monstera right now, so they're everywhere, all in my house. I just want to throw that out. So my name is Catherine Shorten, and I'm working with Environments for the Americas. And our mission is to connect diverse people to natural resources by working to teach natural and cultural resource stewardship, ethics, values through all of our programs. Our keystone program here is the World Migratory Bird Day. Our founder is highly invested in Migratory Bird Day. Our acronym EFTA, EFTA, it collaborates with diverse federal and non-governmental agencies and organizations across the globe to promote conservations, careers in natural resources, and collaborative efforts to protect our natural world. I love the other presenter who said our sponsors, our partners are the usual suspects. That was so funny to me. But these are some of the agencies that we work with. Next slide, please. This is our team. Daniela Garcia is the director over all the internship programs here at EFTA. Edward Kim is our communication fellows. He works to keep us on social media, relevant and engaging content so we can show our interns. And myself, I am the program lead here. I work, oh, that is not my email, but I'll put it in the chat. I work exclusively with the Resource Assistance Program, but here at EFTA, we're kind of all hands on deck. Next slide, please. Some of the programs that we have here are, of course, our Research Assistance Program, which it has the most of our professionals are going from interns to actual professionals, so I love that. We also have the Latino Heritage Internship Program, Mosaics in Science, Fish and Feathers, the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Next slide, please. Being that our interns are young professionals, we really like to make sure that they get lots of professional development in addition to the work that they're learning at their site. The blogs, some of our interns have done blogs that were picked up by National Geographic. We have mentoring in addition to what they get at the Forest Service. You know, they get me. And then just the networking, it's different and we want to make sure that they're best prepared. We're also happy to boast that this year we have over 100 interns actually out on the ground. And that's the first time that that's happened for us. Next slide. These are some previous interns that are now working professionals with the National Forest. And the next slide. Basically, to learn more about our programs, you can reach us at environmentamericas.org, latinoheritageintern.org, and mosaicscience.org. And if you have any questions, our best question email will be internships@environmentamericas.org. Did anybody have a question? Okay, that's good. It was very good to see so many of the interns that were recruited. We're very proud to have them. See so many of you in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Catherine. Glad to have you. All right. Next up, we have the Hispanic Access Foundation. Yashira.
Hi, everyone. Let me see if I can request remote control. And also, let me see if I can see all of you guys. Do you guys see me?
Yes, we see you.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself a timer here. Okay, so good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Buenos días o buenas tardes, wherever you guys are seeing me. I'm right now in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, with one of our partners. So it's very informal, my background. So I'm one of the program associates for Hispanic Access Foundation, and we'll go over a brief overview of who we are, our model program, and happy to see some of our resource assistance programs fellows here. Let me see if I'm able, or if somebody can put on the next slide.
Controlling the slide, so you just tell her next.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'll wait for her to pass on the next slide.
Vanessa?
Okay, so Hispanic Access Foundation is basically hoping since the start to connect our Latinx community with partners and opportunities to improve the lives and just basically create that equitable society. We know and we want all people of color and Latinos to form part of all the spaces that we should be forming part of. And all throughout the process, we found that workforce development was a great place that we could help them create resources, create opportunities for them to grow and to get to those spaces that we know they should be forming part of. So that's basically how MANO, or My Access to Network Opportunity, started. And we partner with federal land agencies like Forest Service, as other people have expressed as well, U.S. Forest Service, National Parks Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Department of Interior, Bureau of Reclamation, and the list goes on. And basically what we want is for them to have an overall experience where we not only provide them a step into their career, but we also support them throughout the whole process of their internship or fellowship. As well, you can read through our mission and vision. So we're wanting to connect them. We want them to be that person that elevates in their career, that moves forward, and we want those talented candidates as well. We also want to diversify our workforce. And when we say diversity, is diversity in all aspects of the word. So some differences of the different internship opportunities we have the RAP program as well. We partner with different U.S. Fish and Wildlife regions like Midwest, Northeast, Pacific, Southwest, and the list goes on. We also have the DFP program, the Directorate Fellowship program with U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Also, another one is Civilian Climate Corps from U.S. Fish and Wildlife. And recently we partnered with the Bureau of Reclamation with different opportunities as well. If you can pass to the next slide. So how do we do this? We don't only want to elevate our Latinx voices, we also want them to have a deep meaning with nature. So how can we provide them opportunities for them to feel that they are and they do belong in the outdoors? We do this by different fellowships and internships that are mostly related in environmental sciences, even though we're branching out and we're doing partnerships with different opportunities that are workforce related with the STEAM careers, science, technology, engineering, and other related opportunities. As well, we also have our Latino Conservation Week, which I'll talk a little bit soon. And also we have our conservation program, which basically dedicates in the advocacy spectrum of environmentalism. Next slide. So this is a brief overview of who is, or the faces you should be seeing, every one of our RAP fellows within the different regions we form part of with U.S. Forest Service. We have Victoria Pedrosa, we have Michelle Newenswander, who is our program director. We have Nita Martis, who recently upgraded to program manager. We have Cristal Strong and Anastasia Hernandez, and that's basically all our Mano team. Next slide. So this is a brief overview of some of the pictures of experiences our interns and fellows have been through and all the great opportunities that they are able to have through our internship opportunities and our different programs. Next slide. So the whole Mano experience, as I had expressed, we don't only want them to exceed in their career and have this direct hire authority or public land corp opportunity, but we also want them to have a life-changing experience where they have that mentorship throughout the whole process. So they don't only have the supervisor who is doing the research or the science part with them. We also have them partner with one of our program associates throughout the whole internship. And we have one-on-one calls with them, and we provide them a safe space where if something is going on throughout their internship opportunity and they're needing assistance and other things, we are that support system with them. So their support system goes above and beyond their experience with the federal land agency they are doing the internship with, but they also have a community in our Mano team, and they also have a community in our Hispanic Access team. And once they finalize the overall Mano experience, they become alumni. So they have access to different opportunities, different job opportunities as well, and other things that are part of our Hispanic Access Foundation programs. And you can read more if you want through the different bullets that are there, but that's a brief overview of all the different experiences that are able to be provided through our Mano experience internships or fellowships. Next slide. So the other thing that we are hoping and we are doing to conserve the environment, to steward our students and young professionals into a career in the outdoors, and for them to feel like they belong and they should be forming part of this opportunities in the outdoors, is the Latino Conservation Week event. And if you can go to the next slide, we have it every year from July 16 this year to the 24th, and it basically is an opportunity for them to engage, create even their own event if they wanted to, from different sources of funding we have. If not, we also have different campouts. We have an East Coast campout and we have a West Coast campout. So basically, all the teammates of the Mano project, our Mano alumni, our Mano interns, and all the different interns that we have from different federal land agencies, we all meet together for that week on those diverse campouts we have, but also all of our different interns and fellows will have the opportunity to create their own events, either in the refuge they are or in the different locations they are located at. And basically, we just want them to highlight their opportunities to engage with and do outreach with the people in the place that they're working at, and engage the communities and have different diversified activities for them to connect with our Latinx community and the people of color communities, underrepresented, and provide them a safe space and an awareness that an outdoor is a great place to be at, and they have all these different opportunities that they could form part of. And some of them just don't know. So we want them to be highlighted. We want them to form part of this diverse opportunity. So that's what we hope on this diverse events that we have on this week. This week we're hoping that it goes over the 590 events that we've had on a continuous year, and hoping that our participants go beyond the 25,000, and it just keeps increasing over time. Next slide. And another way that we could help them and steward them into environmentalism and conserving our environment is the conservation program. So our conservation program is basically doing the advocacy that maybe us as federal land partners cannot do. So they focus on
One with the microphone.
Sorry, I have somebody that's talking. So our conservation program basically does different opportunities or resources to create advocacy for a Latinx community and people of color in the outdoors. And if you can go to the next slide, these are different pictures of different opportunities that we have been able to do, but they basically represent the stewardness we want to see in our Latinx community through advocacy. So they have done different white papers that you can see on our website. And those white papers and different films they have done are basically focusing on how we belong in land and nature protection, how our Latinx community belongs in the ocean and coast, clean rivers and watershed, creating more awareness of the climate crisis and how we can help the climate crisis move forward, how to mitigate and adapt to it. Also, we have the Latino Advocacy Week in addition to Latino Conservation Week, and we have other white papers that are focusing on protecting our Latino heritage sites. One of my favorites is the one that talks about place, story, and culture. So basically understanding a different diversion and dimension of what a place and culture means to our Latinx community, because we're mostly very entwined in our culture and our people. And lastly, last slides. Stay connected. If you found that you resonated with some of the things that we highlighted throughout this presentation, definitely Hispanic Access does a lot of things and we partner with different agencies. So this could be a deeper conversation, but that's as long as I could engage with you guys. If you want to talk more about any of the things we have, follow us at our different social media platforms. I could put on the chat my email as well if you want to connect with me at the end. But that's all for me, and thank you for Sylvia and the team for having us here. All the people here, I'm so excited for you all and hoping that this experience means a lot to you, because definitely us at the end corner, this means the world to us that you have this opportunity that some people, for example, like me, once when I started my bachelor's, these opportunities weren't available to us. So having that piece be moving forward and having all of you guys have this opportunity means the world to us. So we are here to mentor you. We are here to support you. And for all the Hispanic Access fellows and interns, we are here throughout the whole process. So feel supported that we are going to be here one-on-one throughout the whole mentorship experience. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shashira. All right, next up and last but not least, we have Conservation Legacy.
Hey y'all, my name is Jeff Elliott. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I serve as a program director with Conservation Legacy. And so I'll go quickly. I think we're kind of running up against our time. But Conservation Legacy, we're a national nonprofit focused on engaging youth and young professionals in professional development opportunities, internships, AmeriCorps positions, and opportunities like the RAP program to kind of protect public lands, protect our nation's lands, and develop their own leadership skills. And so Conservation Legacy at large is a number of different local Conservation Corps programs, ranging from some of these crew-based models in the Southwest and the Southeast, as well as the Stewards Individual Placements Program, which is the program that I represent and where our resource assistants are supported through. And so you can go to the next slide. And so I touched a little bit on our mission and that we engage future leaders who protect, restore, and enhance our nation's land through community-based service. And this can be through all sorts of different service on public lands, similar to probably the diversity of work that y'all are doing as resource assistants. We at Conservation Legacy support anything from volunteer engagement to interpretation, field sciences, forestry work, fire prevention, climate action. And so we have members and interns working across all different work scope and with all sorts of different partners as well. I think similar to the usual suspects you've seen, we work closely with the National Park Service, the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Reclamation, Bureau of Land Management, as well as a number of local, state and municipal agencies. And so we can jump to the next slide. Just some quick stats on our outcomes last year. So all of our work is focused around engaging young professionals in opportunities like this. And so in 2021, we engaged over 2,000 participants through this work, and they provided over 1.3 million service hours and achieved the kind of outcomes you can see there below. And so really proud to be able to support these opportunities and truly humbled by the work that y'all are doing in the field. And so we can jump to the next slide. And so, yeah, we'll just wrap up with a how to connect with us. And so, as I mentioned, you can visit our website. We have our different social media outlets, but certainly, you know, if you're looking to connect with a certain program, be sure to follow, kind of explore those outlets as well. As I mentioned, I support Stewards individual placements, and you can find us at stewardslegacy.org. And so for those of you who are working with us, we are excited to stay connected with you and stay connected with your mentors to support you all in your professional development and anything that comes up throughout your service. So thanks all for having me to share a little bit about who we are at Conservation Legacy, and we look forward to continuing to connect with y'all.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing the information. And thank you to all of our Resource Assistant Program partners and cooperators. We appreciate you guys sharing your time today, presenting on your organization, and hosting RAs throughout their internships. So thank you.